Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. Why am I aiming the camera at this? Because I gotta kind of spend just a minute or two describing how this whole thing got started. This is an off-road UTV cart that I started. I want to extend it and so forth. And I got the idea by watching one of Puppet Kicker's videos. He got started with a 200 or 250cc version of a China quad, and he extended the whole thing and made a really cool cart out of it. But while he was going through that, he lost spark to his engine. So, I mean, we kind of chatted back and forth, and what happened next is he sent me his wire harness, and I kind of went through his entire wire harnesses. I mean, including stators and pulse generators and everything else, and it was kind of like everything I checked was good. You know, I kind of went from one thing to the next, and everything checked out good. So what I offered to do is I told him I could change your wire harness so that you don't have to worry about all this silliness. You turn on the key switch, right? And then you engage the starter and your engine will be running. You turn off the key switch, right? And your engine stops running. You won't be using any of these switches here. There won't be a matter of it won't start because it's in reverse. It won't start because you're not neutral. It won't start because there's some remote control situation acting up. As long as you have a charged battery, the ignition will get a pulse. Now, to do that, I made a couple of changes on his wiring harness. And let me show you kind of the starting point. This is how I kind of start everything. You go right out, you buy one of these. That's the description, that's the price. So they cost about 13 bucks. Easy enough. And the second thing you do is you buy this thing. I suggest both of these could come from suppliers here in the United States now, and that's where I kind of recommend getting them. The few I've ordered from suppliers in China, though they're a few bucks cheaper, they are cheaper to get them from China. It seems to take a very long time to get here, and that was kind of delaying this project. Once you get this, right, the first thing you do is, see the one that comes with this kit? Just put it aside, right? Take it, put it aside, right? You're not going to use it. Forget about it. Forget about it here. So that's first of all. You take the wire harness, you plug it right in here, right? And then you cut it off, right? Cut it right off. Don't fool around. Don't worry about it. You cut it right off. Don't cut it too close to the plug because it doesn't do you any good. Cut it off a little ways off, right? So you got your 4-pin DC module plugged into that wire harness, and you cut the wire. So far, I'm sure everyone could do that. No debate, no surprise, nothing else. I took his wire harness, and quite honestly, I just matched the wire colors, right? I mean, they were an exact match. I just spliced them right into his wire harness, except for one. See this black, well, this red wire with the black stripe, or sometimes it's black with a red stripe? I put a yellow wire on it, and I built it right into his wire harness. I went to where his switch plugs in, and there's a black wire. The red wire going into the switch is power from the battery. The black wire coming out of the switch is power going to all your accessories. Basically going up here, but it goes to all your accessories. I just hooked onto that wire, right? And if you were to take this insulation off right there, you'll see that they're hooked together. Such that when you turn this switch on, right, you are now putting power to this guy. Everything else is wired exactly the same. I just took the coil, put it on to his harness the way it should be, plugged it right into my spark plug. I took the ground, right, his negative battery line, you could see it right there, and I just hooked it up right here, right? It's just right into ground. I put my jump pack, obviously one on ground. I put the other on my starter relay because I'm going to jump it. But once again, then I just ran power to his harness. So it's on, right? Click once, it's on. And if I turn my battery pack on, got to give it a little jump action. Hopefully it doesn't need gas. And it started right up. And then when you want to turn it off, right? I mean, it's running, no problem. I can give it gas and it'll go. See? And when you're done, okay, there's no more of you have to step on the brake first, or you have to do this first or that first to get it to start. Just one other quick comment. When you look at your starting relay, this is his starting relay. I'm not using it in this case, but this is the power lead. Right there is where your starter lead goes. And then these wires here control the coil, and when the coil is energized, it'll close the relay, so to speak. These two get shorted together and your starter goes round and round. You see, you got one yellow wire with a red stripe on it. That's the one that comes from the key switch or comes from your push button here, whatever. And then you got that green and yellow wire. A lot of times if your bike, quad, ATV, off-road vehicle will not start, as you're hitting the button, you're putting power on one side of the starting relay, but you're not giving it ground. And why? Where does it get ground from? I was told by one of my subscribers that if all the electrical system on this thing was proper, you couldn't start the engine unless you stepped on the brake pedal. The starter wouldn't engage. So that's one thing. If this thing was a standard shift transmission, forward and reverse, or 1, 2, 3, 4 and reverse, it would only start neutral. Some of them would only ground if the motor's in neutral. Some of them will only ground if you put the safety harness on. Some of them want everything I just described to ground. So just imagine, with the way a lot of the China wiring is done, how long that kind of stuff will last before it gets into trouble. So Lonnie, I am done with your harness. I'll package it up and get it into the mail. It's going to be ready to use just as it is now. You just, once again, turn the key, hook it up like you want to hook it up. All my wiring for this thing is integrated right in, so you should be able to plug it right in, hook it up, and everything should work beautifully. There should be no issues, and that gives you a spare harness for your bike. If you want to reimburse me, you saw the prices I paid, right? I showed you the YouTube tickets. and postage. I'm probably, I don't know, I'm probably gonna put it in one of those overnight boxes, so whatever they cost, $6 or whatever. But I'll mail it back to you, and you know, you can throw whatever into an envelope and make it work out that way. Anyway, just everyone, I think you should go by and check out Lonnie Puppet Kicker's channel. He does a really good job. He's got a bunch of stuff he's into. He not only does the UTV builds. He's done some tractor builds. He's done some work putting a what is it, LT5, basically a Corvette motor into a pickup truck. Really good guy, good family man, good Christian. So go check out his channel and say hello for me, and we'll catch up soon. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Hope you loved this video. If you did, let me know. And if you didn't, please tell me why. Bye now.